back.
And we're back.
Just like that.
This is our first mini-sode.
I'm so excited.
Or our sip and spills, as I like to call them.
Sip and spill.
And this is, I think, your guys' chance to sound off, right?
Yeah.
Like, tell me your thoughts. Tell me your stories. I know you got them.
I love to hear everyone else's drunken stories or just stories in general.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I'm the only crazy human on the planet. Oh, God.
All right. So we're going to get right into it. You haven't heard this.
I have not heard this, so
Okay. So I'm going to read it to you.
let's hear it.
This person wants to stay anonymous. So here we go. I was at a social one night and drank way too much. One of my close guy friends that I drunkenly hooked up with a couple times had a high school friend visit for the weekend. Long story short, the high school friend and I ended up going back to my place and hooking up. Halfway through, he stopped and said he didn't know where the condom went. Me being too drunk to care, told him to keep going. I woke up the next morning with awful cramps, went about my morning until I realized what happened last night. I looked everywhere for the condom until I realized it had to still be inside me. Over an hour went by with 5 hysterical phone calls to my sister and me trying to frantically get it out. I ended up having to get my best friend drive me to the hospital to have it removed.
Oh, my God.
As if my story doesn't get any more embarrassing, an extremely attractive male doctor came in and went in to remove it. He even laughed and held it up for me to see. After he removed it, he said he noticed huge bruises all up and down my legs and thighs and asked me if I was being abused. I started laughing and tried to explain how I had fallen down a full flight of stairs 2 days ago when I was drunk. He didn't believe me, so he had a nurse come in and give me a counseling brochure and a number. The worst part is when I walked out to leave, they were all glaring at my best friend. They thought he was my boyfriend. Worst weekend ever.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, okay, the first thing that pops into my head is how big was his fucking dick that it went that far up and that she needed to get it professionally removed?
Or how many times have you put a condom on, not really, I guess, well, and it's like slipped off?
Yeah,
like,
I guess
are you
that's
not
true.
experienced in putting it on?
I don't think he even tried. He must have been so drunk that it was hanging off.
Yeah.
I mean, then, yeah, maybe he wasn't that big that it slipped off that easily. But I'm just thinking, like,
to get it all the way up there to the point where
Right.
it, like, really stuck up there.
what did you have, a fucking foot long?
I don't know. When I got this, there was a time, I think I was in, like, high school, and I don't remember, like, the details of it and the result of it because it was such a long time ago, but I remember going through something where I felt like I had put another tampon in without removing the first one and was freaking out. Like I said, I don't remember what, like, actually wound up happening, but I remember asking everybody if that was even possible. Could it get stuck there and you put it all the way? But it was horrifying.
Yeah,
it was a horrifying experience.
I mean, I've heard of that, but I've never heard of the condom going so far up
that it gets lost
and that it caused cramps so soon after. Like, I would have thought that it had to, like, sit and, like, cook for a second.
Because people get it's cooking. It's cooking in your uterus.
Oh my God.
It's doing.
Ugh.
But people get, what are those that birth control that you the IUD.
IUD. Is that what it's called?
I think so. And that it's like goes up and stays up. So
I've heard that I've heard horrible things about that the guy feels it, that it moves around, that it's just, like, all around uncomfortable, that to the point where I don't even know why it's still
a thing,
like, used. Why would someone just not want to? I mean, I feel like taking a pill every day is probably hard to keep up with, but, like, isn't there, like, the patch and everything?
There's a patch. I know somebody who had a rod in their arm, like a copper, like a metal rod.
Think about,
in their
like,
arm.
how hard people are going to not have a child. Like, I'm going to have something up my fucking vagina or a rod in my arm just so I don't have a baby pop out someday.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
yeah. And it sounds like it was a rough weekend all around if you also fell down the stairs and had bruises up and down your legs.
Yeah. Definitely a terrible fucking weekend.
A terrible weekend.
The doctor was probably like, this poor
girl. But I love it.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what I needed to start my day.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I would that would be my icebreaker all the time at every party. Every time I got drunk, I would tell that story to the point where my friends would be like, shut up already. No one wants to hear it.
Yeah. Let me tell you about that time.
Natalie,
not again.
Yeah. Natalie, please. We've heard it like that, to the point where I had it down to a fucking like science and just said the same dialogue.
An intro, you had the body, you had a conclusion, you had it all mapped out.
That's probably good. She probably smelled like a balloon for a few days. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Aw, well, that made me feel better because I've had some pretty shitty stories, but I have never had a condom to be removed by a doctor.
And I don't plan on it.
I definitely don't plan on it.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
On that note, keep them coming.
No, keep them coming, please.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Have a great day.